Okay, well, hello and welcome, everybody. So, this is part two of our group call on hormones and bones. And yesterday's process, I worked a whole lot on the pineal gland because having the right amount of melatonin is really important. But I know that many of you are on this call because you're so very, very tired. So you want to know if hormones can support you to have energy. So today's work is going to be on hormones and energy. And I'm going to do that for a while and then I will take care of whomever's raising their hands. And I want to end this call on time around 7. So I'm not going to make it too long because I know that you all have things to do. So yeah, let's start with just tuning into all of you. And energetically, all of you who are on this call to have improve your hormones so you can improve your energy. And when you have energy, you have motivation, and it changes your outlook in life, and you will have the drive to do things. And I know that in the self-help movement, everybody's focused on let's have motivation. You have to have motivation. You have to have the right mindset and blah, blah, blah. And I feel like that's going backwards because all the awesome people who already are going to webinars and seminars, they already demonstrating with their participation that they're motivated and open-minded and driven. Otherwise, you would not go to seminars in the first place to improve your life. And even if you are just tuning in to listen to telesummits, you would not be drawn to do that sort of work if you don't already believe in improving your life, if you're not already motivated, if you're not already driven. So I think in this culture and in this self-help place, we overly privilege the mind, the thinking, and forget that as bodies, we need to have fuel to run the body. And when a body has the right fuel, everything else seems to take care of itself. So first, let's clear all the judgments about whether you're motivated or not, all the judgments you bought into about being lazy, unmotivated, not having the right mindset, whatever those judgments are. The thought then kind of just creates the body to not be as motivated. So there's a back and forth relationship between thought and energy and hormones and body. And I know that if you've been around tele summits and self-help stuff long enough, you may have bought into limiting beliefs about who you are without realizing that you bought into them. So let's clear all those. Sorry about that. It's just allergies acting up. Okay. So clearing all the old issues, limiting beliefs and thoughts, all the judgments you subconsciously bought into just by being in that field of energy of self-help, you would buy into the thought that you're not motivated enough, if you don't have a six-figure income, if you don't have six abs, you don't have this, you don't have that, then it's because you lack the motivation, or you lack this, or you lack that. And we got to train your mind, and you got to toughen up, and you got to do this, you got to do that. All that I'm going to clear. And also, have you noticed in the self-help movement, some of the most successful people are men? Everybody knows Tony Robbins, and everybody knows Jack Canfield. How men operate and what their system requires is so different than women. So if we were to be put in their system, then it would create women's bodies to create cortisol. And then cortisol would just deregulate all the good hormones for us. And it would create our bodies to be in fight or flight. So men are driven, their hormones require a certain way of operating in the world that is mirrored by our overly driven, overly driven men. Well, I gotta say this. I know this is being recorded and all, but even Tony Robbins admitted share with the whole world that one of the issues he has that other people don't have is that he has a pituitary tumor. So you know that the level of his hormones are automatically high because of the amount of hormones he has. Thank God it's benign for him. Thank God for him it's benign. And thank God he comes out and says that, right? Thank God he comes out and says that. So then we don't need to mirror behavior that comes from that, because we don't want to duplicate that in our energy. And us women, if we duplicate what men do, and I learned this too, that it just creates stress in our system. And cortisol, as you know, the stress hormone, it creates our bodies to stop acting in the right way. And there's going to be more breakdown of all processes instead of build up. And also, as women, we need to feel safe. Men need to feel safe too, but I don't know what the hell that they do to create success. But we need to feel safe. We need to stop competition. We need to be very grounded, and we need to be bonding, feeling safe, bonding with each other instead of fighting and competing. And instead of setting goals about hitting six figures in 5 months, hitting this figure in 2 months, hitting this goal, hitting that goal, we need to talk about appreciating ourselves more, loving who we are, loving what we have. Look at the gifts we have and appreciate that instead of looking at what isn't there. So I notice like all of you, I'm a workshop junkie. I attend those, I listen to them. I really love some of the awesome people. God bless Tony Robbins for being the success that he is. And he mirrors a success that's totally right for beautiful masculine energy. And I would not expect Tony Robbins to be feminine, right? I would not expect Jack Canfield to not be like that. But then some of the women out there who are doing this work, they kind of mirror the guys, and they talk about being fit, being whatever. So, and that creates those of us who are not exactly perfectly fit, who are a little overweight, who can't walk on fire or walk on glass to feel like we're total failures. But that way of motivating through fear and overcoming your fear, that's perfect for men who are wired to be warriors, right? But for us women, we need to feel safe and protected. And we need to feel included that who we are is good enough. I mean, we are responsible for creating the bonding hormone oxytocin that brings everyone to a space of peace. And I think it's about time to just appreciate us for who we are, for what we bring to the table that's different than men. And I have nothing against men. Again, I'm just saying what works for their biology and for their hormones actually creates stress in our bodies. So let's clear all the more stressful inducing, fear inducing tactics that create us to judge ourselves for not being enough, for not having enough, for not having a six app, for not having created a six-figure coaching, for not being willing to hustle and blah, blah, blah. All that. Buying into the wrongness view because you have to measure up to the male model of success and the male process to success. So that process to success is so adrenaline driven, which men thrive on, and it works for their system, and it totally F up our system. And creating cortisol in our body. So then we start gaining weight in the wrong places. Then we judge ourselves more for it. It's like, and why are we there in the first place? You know? And that breakdown, the cortisol creates the system to start breaking down, especially our bones respond to that because bone has a hormone that responds to the fight or flight response. So if you become more and more tired instead of becoming more and more motivated, we're going to clear that. All the beliefs you bought into that created you to judge yourself for not acting and processing the world and going about life and building business the way successful men do. There's so much of that out there, especially in the self-help world. And then overprivileging the mind instead of taking care of the body, right? And instead of listening to the body. And there's nothing wrong with working on mindset and having the right frame of mind, but you got to go there from a place of care, from a place of deeply honoring you, deeply honoring your body, honoring when you need serious rest. It's not a bad thing. Honoring when you need a break. It's not a bad thing. Don't keep on pushing. No one needs to learn how to walk on glass or walk on fire. We are the ones who are going to be sensible enough to say, don't be stupid and walk on glass. Don't be stupid and walk on fire. Conserve that energy and use it to heal. Don't use it just to do something to prove yourself and drive up all kinds of stress hormones. I don't know who thrives on that. I say men thrive on that. So what if your body has even deeper wisdom from thousands of years of survival than what our mind says, right? Because of mind, we live in a world that privileges the mind instead of listening to the body. And for most women, our instincts, our intuition, our gut instincts are always right on because we're built that way. And God gave us the responsibility to carry a child to full term and take care of the child till they're 18 or 28 now. So that's a lot of responsibility and being able to tune into another human being. And all women are simply intuitive. And you simply have wisdom about your body that no one credits you for. So if you were ever taught by any coach, any, especially celebrity coaches, dear Lord, that are not right for you and you feel guilty for not following, I want you to stop feeling that guilt and celebrate the wisdom you have to follow your own truth, the courage and guts you have to follow your own truth. Celebrate you and honor you. And feel safe honoring your own wisdom, no matter who you're around, no matter whose seminar you're in. And don't participate in things, in seminars that just don't feel right to your guts, right? Because we know how some of those operate and how some, a few years ago, there was this guy who even caused the lives of a few participants because he keeps on overriding what the body was saying. So take a moment to just bring your awareness to your body and appreciate the deep wisdom you come with. Appreciate everything that is right about your beautiful body. Appreciate everything that is right about the way you attend to your body's needs, your body's signals, and being able to say no to certain things that are not right for you. That takes a lot of courage, especially when you're in seminars and webinars where you are lost in the mob mentality. So if you have the courage to resist the mob mentality, God bless you. Because it takes a lot to resist that mob mentality, right? And still feel safe in your body and be a wonderful sacred space. So let's bring back all the energy that you gave away to whomever was just not all there. Yeah, and I know because now I think it was just a couple years ago, and I forgot the name of the person who discovered this hormone in bones that responds to the fight or flight response. And so that gives us a different way to look at osteoporosis and bone health. So it's a combination of too much stress that creates the body to not be able to create more bone cells, and also the lowering of testosterone. So it's several things working together to weaken your bone. So then we gotta tap into where you're losing energy, where you're creating cortisol instead of dopamine. So I'm just gonna ask your bodies what it is that's causing you to lose energy, or the beliefs or the guilt you bought into. Oh, all the lies you bought into about what you need to do to be successful, and any and all programming from all past lives and this life that compromise your ability to believe and act on your own behalf. So what if you know what's going on with your body perfectly? And what if you know how to switch on the genes that support you to have healthy bones, healthy bone density? Yeah, so let's see how well we can just switch on the program for bone density, increasing bone density. And again, everything that's required to lower the amount of cortisol in your body. And other related stress hormones. Oh, good. So we're lowering everything that's created by stress hormones. And your body knows, and your body knows. Oh, oh. And so I'm here and declare this for you all the programming, conscious and subconscious, that you have bought into, that's actually destroying your body on some level. We're going to clear that. Whether it's cultural programming or tuning into too many self-help stuff, because some of those self-help stuff are not totally right, as you know, as you know, as you know. Oh. Oh. Good. So I know that this time of day for you all, it's like close to supper or you're making dinner right now because you have a whole day's work. So all the stress from the day that's creating anxiety and cortisol and this and that, we're going to clear that. Oh. And for those of you who are universal surrogates, what if it's time to take care of you instead of everybody? So, in all the guilt that goes with just taking care of you and being selfish or whatever, I get told that a lot by family because it's family. They want to control and program you and want your time, right? So, any guilt you bought into about just taking care of you, and anywhere where you're not allowing yourself to succeed on your own terms, because you know so much of the world has all these ideas about success, what you need to do, how motivated you need to be, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to say motivation and drive just take care of themselves when the body is being cared for. And you all know that. I think that most of us women know that when our bodies are cared for, when we have the right level of hormones, motivation and drive, and the drive to be successful just takes care of itself. So you're not doing your goals wrong. You're not doing life wrong. You're not doing anything wrong except that as women, we have always been subjected to a world that privileges the mind and privileges how men work, right? It just overly privileges how the other half of the population works. So, and if you don't work that way, then it creates a lot of internal stress and guilt and shame. Oh, all right, so let's replan. Support your adrenals. Oh, good. And let's support the foundational amount of dopamine and testosterone you have. Oh, oh, good, oh, oh, good, good. So we need to just be able to relax, then reset the body to build and regenerate and rejuvenate. So setting the entire body up and regeneration, rejuvenation mode, and up leveling the baseline hormones that are required to feel good. And that would be dopamine and testosterone and estrogen. However, that works in your body. Some people need more of one than the other. And some people may have too much testosterone. And if that's your case, let your body figure out the optimal amount for you. So, optimizing the right amount of testosterone for you. If you have too much, we're going to bring it down. And you don't have enough, we're going to up level. And most people need to up level dopamine. Good, 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 good. And just take gentle breaths to allow this to do its work for you and trust that your body already knows. Trust that you already know how to be deeply relaxed enough for your body to regenerate what needs to regenerate, rejuvenate, and restore. Restore the functions of the spinal column, the brain, restore the functions of all systems in the body. Good. Good. And let this restoration and regeneration energy keep on supporting you to regenerate gum tissue, enamel, teeth, and whatever else. And know that healing is always happening for you, that you can always tap into this yourself. Oh, quieting the mind. Oh, good. So I'm going to stop the recording here.